Well, hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's JoJo with JoJo Crosses, and I'm going to go ahead and do a cemetery build today. So, Lucky's house is right here. And, would it be Lucky's house if I didn't do a cemetery for him? I mean, his whole house is a flippin' cemetery, so you got to do a cemetery. So anyways, I am going to first lay down a path, and I'm going to think I'm going to take it through this way and then kind of curl through these trees and then over into his house. And then all these trees are not staying here. I've got to kind of figure out what I want this to shape up to be, but for right now, I'll put the path down, which I will not make you sit through. So I'm going to go do that, and then I will come back, and then we will see what else we're going to put out here. All right, I got my path down. So as you can see, it goes from over here over to Lucky's place here, and then it also branches off over to the bridge here so that they have a little tie-in. Now I want to put up some fencing and a little entranceway here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a double layer fencing. So the first one I'm going to put down is this iron and stone because hello cemetery. All right, so here I'm going to go ahead and get some fencing put in and trying to make a little entrance with these jail bars, but they're kind of not working out, so I have to do a little terraforming to try to extend this out a little bit. But thank goodness I have my little helmet on, my handy dandy helmet. Anyway, we'll get the rest of this going. I put a couple of trees in there, and then I decided I didn't like the side fencing, so I kind of just wanted to go on the front. And just to make it, I really just want to make sure it kind of looks like a cemetery. The inside and the side parts you're not going to see that much anyways, but ended up having to move a couple of things out of the way just so I can get in here and get the fencing in. I kind of like the double layered look. And then I went ahead and trimmed the back with the same except kind of opposite so you can see the stone and iron fencing on this side of things. And that way, from both perspectives coming in or going out, you're going to see that fencing. And I put a little bit around Lucky's house, just so that he can have his house kind of trimmed out by this stuff too. So I kind of like how it ends up turning out here in the end. Okay, now I think I'm going to put a decorative pillar here just to give it a little extra something. There we are. Gotta have a kind of a grand entrance to this this cemetery. All right, and then we're going to do, let's see, I want there to be like just some scattered about. Oh, you know what I need to do? All right, I have a little bit of digging I got to do, and I'll show you what I'm going to do here in just a minute. So let me do that really quick, and then I'll come back and you can see what I'm doing with this. All right, I'm back. So what I did was I made a little hole here, so I terraformed in on this side, put my little skeleton guy in there, and then kind of closed him in so he looks like he's just sticking up. And then on this one, I put a gravestone down low, and there's a creepy skeleton down there. So I thought that looked kind of cool, like just to have some little dimension to this and kind of look like there's some open graves and stuff, which is kind of creepy. I also forgot to put up my spooky arch. So I think I have that up here somewhere. There it is. Yeah. I think that's a nice little also entryway to here. Let me see, am I doing too much? No. Although I think I want it faced the other way. So let me do it this way. Go that way, yeah. Just looks a little better with the bat facing out. So, and then did I grab another one? I'm not sure. Sorry if you guys hear my pups. My dogs are, one of my dogs is a big barker. He just barks at everything. So, you know, you'll hear him quite often throughout my videos. His name is Rocky. And then I have another dog named Willow. She's a husky mix, and he's a pit bull mix. Well, he's a mix of everything. He's mostly like German Shepherd, herding dog, pit bull, everything. He is actually the nicest dog, but people are afraid of him because he's black. And he looks a little scary, but he's like the biggest doofus, nicest dog ever. And would never hurt anybody. And then Willow is like my husky mix, and she's a fraidy cat. Everything, but she's the sweetest dog, and all she wants is love. So, you know, they're the best. But okay, I'm going to put where did I want? Okay, I'm gonna put a western stone here. Let me put a couple here. Nope, that's not it. There we go. I want it. No, I didn't want it that direction either. Shoot. Okay, I gotta go this way. I want two like side by side, like they're maybe a little husband and wife or something, or buried at the side of the pond or whatever. So let's see if there's one. I don't know what color this one is. Oh yeah, they're both the same color. Okay. All right. So those two are together. And then we're going to put a few grave sites like on this side. Let's see, I'll put one like here. I think it's going to face that way. Let me go this way. They're up here. Yeah, they are up here. All right. Then we'll maybe put like a stone tablet here. Yeah. And then get some more out. I'll be right back. I need a lot. All right, I got some more. So I'm just going to first I'm just going to spread these all around. Yeah, so here I'm just really quickly putting down all the tombstones, you know. So I know you don't need to see me figuring out where everything's going to go, but I thought I would just kind of speed it up a little bit so that you're not having to sit through all this thinking about stuff. It takes a lot longer than you'd think, for sure. But I think they came out pretty good. In the very end, you'll see. Okay, and then I've got a bunch of decayed trees, and I've got some skeletons, some giant vines, things like that. So I think I'm going to try to fill in a little bit behind here. All right, so I'm just going to fill in some areas. I'm going to put out some more decor. I'm getting out some more pumpkins and just more Halloween type items. Here I'm going to put down some flooring because I'm getting ready to put down one of the big spooky carriages. I thought, you know, those carriages look like they're carrying a coffin or something. So I figured they're kind of cool, and they go along with it. So we put it in a nice gray. And then I tried some little stone things that I had downloaded. I didn't really like those so much, so I took them out. But I feel like, you know, the decor, like the stuff in between, is kind of what makes the whole build, because, you know, obviously the little headstones, they definitely make the point, but they don't look good without other stuff around them, you know. Funny little story about my outfit. I went to the Happy Home Paradise and I was doing my thing, and I decided to go in the hospital to see what I could get for free that day. And they were like, hey, what's wrong with you? You know, they always ask you that. And I was like, oh, my leg is hurt. And they gave me this to be a mummy. That was great. Anyways, let me put another spooky tree here. Here. Perfect. I'm going to have him face this way, though. Okay. And then let's put, I think another tree right here would be good. Trees always make everything look so much more alive, yet, you know, it's a dead area. Yeah, it's good. Okay, and then I'm going to put some trees in behind here too. So let's put a tree in here. I think another hardwood would be good. And then I'm going to go up here and I'd like to put, see how close to this I can get. Let's do this. Another tree there. Perfect. That is absolutely great. Alright, I will be right back. I have to check on something. Okay, I'm back. I grabbed a few more things. And then I will go and get all the bushes and flowers and things. That'll be that's usually the last thing I do. So I'm going to, now there's these things, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but they're called a Theramin. And if you place them, I want to show you what they do if you haven't seen them before. A lot of people who do these sorts of builds. So they make spooky sounds, kind of like ghosts. And they're actually really cool. And so I'm going to put them around the graveyard in places where you might walk around, but hopefully where you won't really see them too much. And kind of hidden, you know. But yeah, I'll put another one back here. And then I'll see if I can fit one. The trees are really good at hiding them, especially if they're sideways. And then let's see, we've got to put a couple up here by Lucky's house. I cannot hear it very well. There it goes. So do you hear that howl it makes? It's really cool. So whenever you walk by it. Yeah. So those are really cool. And so every time you walk in or walk by it, I'll show you. See? It'll make that sound. So I think it's kind of neat. Anyway, I saw that on someone's island before. I had no idea, you know, that they did that or that it was even a thing. I'm going to put a little spooky chair up by Lucky's house because I feel like maybe he just wants to sit there and hang out and look at his graveyard. And then I'm going to put a spooky standing lamp up here. And then I think I'm just going to keep spreading around some decor for a minute. Alright, so just sprinkling around some more stuff. You know, you can't have too many pumpkins, trees, all the kind of stuff that goes with this. Do you guys like Halloween? Are you guys big Halloween people? I used to do a Halloween party every year. I haven't done it in a really long time, but kind of miss it. And but I really enjoy Halloween. I like more of a happy Halloween rather than a spooky Halloween, but I like a little spooky in there here and there. So I just like to have fun and, do little fun things and stuff like that. So, but it's an enjoyable time of year. There's Halloween and then into the holidays and stuff. So I always look forward to this time of year when there's lots of things to do, and of course, pumpkin spice, and we have a place by us where there's a big apple orchards and pumpkin farms and stuff like that. So it's really actually neat to be able to go and do that and have some fun. So anyways, we do a lot of that kind of thing, but anyways, in this build, I don't feel like you can have too many pumpkins because, that is like speaking Halloween, right? So it just makes it a little more fun and less creepy, I guess. Because it is Animal Crossing, so you don't really want to have like so much scary stuff because it's still supposed to be happy and a nice little cute town, right? So anyways, I really like a lot of the things they brought into the game in the recent updates and stuff. I hope that when they make a new Animal Crossing, I say when, because I really hope that's going to happen soon, that they give us some more options, some more things, and, just a few more things of variety, but also still include a lot of the things we already had, because that would be sad to lose all of that. But I really hope they're coming up with something new to give us a little more of the creative juices, stuff to use. Well, also what I was going to tell you guys, all right, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I don't know, like old school Star Wars and new, but mostly old. And so I am going to hide a Yoda somewhere on every island I make starting now, because I didn't think of this till now. This is just the nerd geek in me coming out, so hey, whatever. But so if you ever come to my dream address, your goal is going to be to find that Yoda, and I'm gonna try to hide him somewhere where you kind of have to look around a little bit for him. So anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that. You may notice my husband helps me with my thumbnails, and he's been like trying to hide Yoda in the thumbnails, like all around. So it's kind of funny because he'll be like, look where I hid the Yoda or whatever. And of course we get it, but you guys are probably like, why is there a Yoda in the picture if you even see it? But anyways, that's the reason, is because it's just a little nod to my love of that movie, and just to, acknowledge it a little bit. So, because we got to have a little bit of fun, right? I need to push this guy up so we can walk. Yeah. Okay. And then I think another... Let's see. Wait, if you do stand there, that Theramin thing is a little bit annoying. All right. And then, what else do I want to do? I didn't really want to block this, but I kind of want another tree in here somewhere. Let me see if this will go and not look too... Yeah, that's good. And then we'll put another tree in kind of right here. Yeah. And then let's see about another... I think that's okay for the trees. Oh, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I had these cute little welcome mats for my villagers. And I'm going to put one here for Lucky. His is going to say boo. Where are they? See, there's my Yoda right here. This is the boo one. So I'm just going to, so see, he has a little boo welcome mat. Isn't that cute? All right, I'm gonna go grab some flowers. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with the annoying howl here. I am just planting some plants. Now, the bushes that I'm planting are not going to be fully grown because I'm planting them from plant. I wonder if there's a way to turn those things down. I mean, I know you could turn them off, but not necessarily down. They're cool when you're walking through, but boy, when you're standing next to one and it just keeps going. Whew. Let's go over here. It's a little less annoying. All right, I thought I would plant some pumpkins too, just like growing intermittently in between here. Because, you know, why not? Why not? And let's see, let me put some more glowy moss in here. Keep doing that. This is what really glows it up. Now, here's the other thing. I was walking around today because I've been doing more time traveling, you know. And I was walking around today and Bones asked me to go, which, you know, I love Bones, but he's not staying on this island, so I'm going to let him go. Oh, I don't know what she's thinking about, but it's definitely not to go home because I just sent someone home today. Anyway, she probably wants me to come visit her house or who knows. Anyways, I am letting him go, and so I have to do a villager hunt. However, this will not look done because the bushes will not be fully grown and stuff. And I did want to time travel back to show you what it looks like when it's complete, because it's like a huge difference, you know. So what I'm gonna do is I will, you know, we'll do a walkthrough of what it looks like right now, but I do want you to see it with all the bushes and everything finished. So I will come back to it when I'm done with that villager hunt and let you see how it looks afterwards. I just love the glowing moss in here. It's so great. It's going to make this place just glow, which is nice. We'll put purple one here. I feel like this is what makes or breaks any place that you're doing on your island, is all the plantings and just the different things you put in. Whoops, not a stone. Things you put in between to kind of dress it up and make it look pretty or make it look cool, you know. I'll put some glowing moss by this skeleton. I'll put a bush in here. I just have to be aware, like once these grow in, you can't, you know, necessarily walk around like where they are. But around this path and stuff, that's not where I wanted that to go, but that's okay. I can put another one here. I'll put some glowing moss back here. I'm going to put in a couple of weeds because I want things to start getting a little overgrown. All right, and then a plant, some more black flowers. Okay. But I think you'll see, like, once everything grows in, it's really going to look cool. So we'll come back and you guys can see how it looks when everything's, we'll call it glowed up, you know. Because it really does look pretty cool once everything's in there and stuff. We'll put that. We'll put another plant here. I'm literally just spreading them around, trying to give this place some color, you know? Because this is like kind of like when you remodel your kitchen and you add the jewelry, you add the door handles and all of that, that is what makes the place pop, you know? And I feel like this is the same kind of situation. All right, so I'm just going to finish putting in some of these flowers and bushes, and I know it's just kind of a pain to, you know, sit here and watch someone do that the whole time, but because, you know, you're kind of deciding like what goes here, what goes there. But I think what I was saying, you know, through this video was that I did have a villager. It was Bones that asked to go before I film this. So I'm going to come back towards the end, hopefully, of this video and just attach a little clip of me walking through with it completed and all the bushes grown up, because I can't fast forward until I do my villager hunt. So anyway, it kind of stuck on this day for now, until I replace Bones and get that done. And then once that's finished, then I can go ahead and come back and show you it all grown in. So I will try to do that towards the end. But if you guys have any suggestions or anything, I would really appreciate it. Also, if you could like and subscribe and help this channel to grow, that would be so great. I'm just kind of getting going, and anybody who might feel the desire to subscribe and see what we continue doing here on this channel would be nice. I'm hoping that once the new Animal Crossing comes out too, that we can kind of enjoy that and learn that together too. So I'm really hoping we can get that this spring, because it's definitely needed. So anyway, almost finished up with this build, and I will come back here in just a minute and give you a short tour of it incompleted, and then we'll come back with a complete one as well. Okay. So just me and my little mummy outfit. Me and Lucky are matchy. All right, so this is just our little walkthrough. As you can see, there's graves and skeletons. Path goes through here to Lucky's house, which his house is already nice and spooky, which I love that. We'll probably, you know, we're definitely going to doll it up a little more for sure. Anyways, sorry I'm spotting it through as I go. Anyways, the path takes you over to the bridge, and then you can also walk down in here. Yeah, just an old overgrown cemetery. If you walk back here, you can see there's a few little things. And then you can go by on the other side. And I'll probably... Oh, I'm not going to be able to go through, though, once that's there. Let me push this up. There we go. That'll make it so I can walk through. Anyways, then back here I'm going to put a few more bushes and plants and trees and stuff, but I'm going to have to go get them. So anyways, but this will be a little more overgrown back here when I'm all done with it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did like any part of this video or want to support my channel, please like, subscribe, give me a comment. Let me know if there's anything that you have a suggestion for, if you think there's anything I could have done better. Of course, there's always room for improvement, so I love constructive criticism. But anyways, hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video, which should be a villager hunt. All right, take care, guys. Bye. Okay, I promised you guys I would come back when this guy was fully grown. So here is the cemetery all done. You can see the weeds have come in. The bushes are grown in. So they add a lot of goodness. I put a few little wheat field in here just sporadically. Yeah, it's just kind of an overgrown cemetery. I put some ghosties in, as you can see. So there's a few ghosts hanging out in here. And then I did fill in the back over here some more. And so, you know, it's just, I put a few bamboo trees and stuff like that in here. So anyways, just wanted you to see the finished product, at least for now, and how it's coming along. But this is how Lucky's area kind of finished out. I think it turned out really good. I really like the overgrown look to it. Kind of looks like, you know, it hasn't been really used or maintained in quite some time, and you know, it's just kind of been sitting here, and he's been hanging out. So anyways, thanks you guys. I really appreciate you watching today, and I hope you guys have the very best day. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.